Good evening. Can you hear me? If you can hear, can you just reply? You can hear well, right? Okay. So, yes. So, without delay, let's start. Since our exam is very near, sir, there is no other talks. We will just go with the class. And in the end, maybe 5 minutes towards the end, after we finish revising the topics, towards the end, we will talk for 5 minutes. If you are having any query or if you find any topic difficult or if you want any suggestion, after we finish our target, we will sit and discuss. Okay? So, all set? Can we go? Come on, guys, promote me. Let's start. Come on. So my intention of the session is in this 2 hours. Okay, in this 2 hours, you should be able to complete revision. Okay, it's not studies, it's revision of 2.5 chapters. Which chapter? Chapter number 2, planning, essay 300, and automated environment, which is chapter number 6, and also half of chapter number 4, which is risk assessment, essay 315. So which one you want me to start? Which one? Can we start with automated environment so that that chapter is finished? So yeah. And if you have a book, if you have something notes, or if you want to take the material, anything is fine. But keep on replying in the chat box as far as possible so that you guys will revise. After you finish the session, these 2.5 chapters, you should not spend your time. And I have selected these two topics, 300 and automated environment, because it is one of the topic which is very dry. Student tends to get bored, so that's why. So let's do it together. Okay. So guys, first we are starting with, auditing in automated environment, which is chapter number 6. And it is one of the chapter wherein, you can score the marks easily. It's not like essay, very specific chapters. Once you study, you can score the marks. Okay. So starting directly with the first part. Okay, first part, which is what is automated environment? Okay. Now, what is automated environment? Automated environment means it is a business environment where four things: accounting, second, decisions, third, process, operation. Four things are accounting, decisions, process, operations. These are carried out by what? Carried out by what? Either information systems, IS, or carried out by computer. So this is four conditions are accounting, decisions, process, operations. These in a business environment is carried out by computer or the information system. Such a business environment, you call it as what? Automated environment. And in automated environment, risk high or risk low? What is your opinion? In an automated environment, when compared to other, very good. Risk is generally high, or it is more complex. Complexity when compared to manual is more. Now, complexity. Are all automated environment equally complex? Yes, no. Are all automated environment equally complex? Answer is no. It depends on four things, or rather three things. One, application used. What are the different application used? Second, it depends upon the level of, guys, it depends upon the level of level of automation, and it depends upon the nature of entity, nature and size of entity. Okay. Are we clear with the first part? What is automated environment? I hope you learn now. It's a business environment where accounting, decision, process, operations are carried out by information system or computer. Risk is generally high, but all automated environment are not equally complex. It depends upon the application level of automation size. And if this much is clear, can we proceed? Can I have a proceed if this much is clear? Okay. Okay. Now, what are the features? എന്താണ് like what are the features of automated environment? Features. Okay. First one, and now you can guess. First one, it enables dash business operation. It enables what? Very good. It enables faster business operation. Business operation becomes faster. Second, dash in processing of data. Dash in processing of data. Very good. Second one is accuracy. Accuracy in processing of data. Third, ability to process. Dash volume of data. Ability to process what? Ability to process large volume of data. Fourth, dash between the operation. What between the operation? Integration between the operations. Okay. Next one, better security and controls. Better security and controls. Next, less prone to human, very good, less prone to human errors. Provides system, it will provide what? Provide you with the latest information. Finally, one more. What? When you're using an automated environment, it enhances connectivity and networking capability. So these are the, like what is this? These are the features. And I'll just study this. Yeah. So first we have finished with first part, which is what is automated environment and its features. Okay. Okay. Next one. Yeah. And so what is the next one? Next one is relevance of. Relevance of what? Relevance of automated environment in our audit. Is automated environment relevant? Yes. If relevant, what you have to do? You have to obtain an, because automated environment is relevant, you have to obtain an understanding. Once you obtain an understanding how automated environment will affect each phase of audit, how it will be affected. Third, if it is affected, how our audit procedure should be amended. So the 4 points are, first point, we are going to say whether automated environment is relevant for our audit. Come on, shoot. Is automated environment relevant? Yes. Why? Computations and calculations are carried out by what? Computations and calculations are carried out by information systems. Now, journal entries are posted. You can reply. Journal entries are posted automatically by what? Automatically by systems. Now, internal controls are applied automatically, like login ID, password, automatically. Now, dash reports which we want is produced from where? Report you want is produced from systems. Now, dash who should use what? User security and access are again controlled by system. So what you recalculate in the audit, what you check the journal entry, what we check internal control, the report which we want, and user access, etc. controlled by system. So what are we stating? Like what are we stating? Because of these points, automated environment is relevant for audit. Okay, this is the first heading. Can I proceed? Because automated environment is relevant, second step, you should obtain an, before we commence the audit, you should obtain an what? We should obtain understanding of entity and its environment. We should obtain an understanding of entity and its environment. Now, what is the entity and its environment? You should obtain very specifically what is the organization structure, what is IT, information technology infrastructure, information technology. What are the different applications used? What are the different application used? What are IT related? Next one, IT related risk, and what are the different controls? What is the process, policies, and procedures done by system? When you heard this, did you recall of any essay? Understanding the entity and its environment. Understanding. Essay 350. Now, as an auditor, are we considered, or do we need to consider all the risk? Every risk do we need to consider? No. We have to. Auditor shall consider only those risks. Material alla, it's not material. Only those risks which affects the FS. Meaning, which is relevant to audit, which affects the financials. And there is an audit, guys, which is called as the, have you heard? Data migration audit. Data migration audit means from one system, companies moving to another software, whether there is any omission or whether any data is incomplete. My flow gone. Where are we? We were saying relevance in audit. In that, 2 points we said. First, is automated environment relevant? Yes. If relevant, in the next step, you should obtain an understanding. Are we clear till this? If clear, can we proceed? Okay, so the first one is, what is automated environment? We are still in relevance in audit. So we said it is relevant. Because it is relevant, automated environment, we obtain an understanding. Once you have understood about the automated environment, how it affects each phase of audit. Hey guys, something very big going to come. Shall we proceed? And how many phases for audit? How many phases for audit? How many phases for audit? There are 3 phases. What are those 3 phases? Planning. Next, execution. Next, and also completion. Planning phase, execution phase, completion phase. Planning phase, how automated environment affects in planning phase. Because of automated environment, what is the risk we should assess? So in planning phase, because of automated environment, what is the risk? So first step, to assess the risk, you have to understand what are the significance accounts and disclosures. Which all are the significant accounts and disclosure? Okay, these are the significant accounts. Now, how risk will be affected? It can affect quantitatively or it can affect qualitatively. Now, how it affects? Financial statements assertions. Now, from where risk comes? Identify the source of misstatements. And guys, here we are considered only about the IT risk. So, my flow gonna, we are in planning phase. In planning phase, we are saying how automated environment will affect. It affects risk assessment. What are the significant account? Okay, these are. How these accounts will be qualitatively, quantitatively affected? Okay. Now, how it will affect the financial assertions? Like this. Now from where risk comes? Mainly IP risk. Clear? Now we are in which phase? Planning is over. Now what is the next phase? Come on, come on, come on, next phase. It is execution. Execution means we are performing the audit. Execution means we are performing the audit. In performing the audit, you have to understand and evaluate. Understand and evaluate. Now, how do you understand the system? There are a lot of systems, no? How do you understand? You will go and see, prepare. We have learned in internal control. You will prepare what? Narrative record. You will prepare the flow chart. We prepare the narrative record flow chart to understand the system. Understand? Now from that, which area risk is high, which area risk is low? You will prepare a RCM. You will prepare risk control matrix. You will prepare risk control matrix. Now for doing that, we will perform what? You will perform walkthrough. While performing walkthrough, we will consider what? Segregation of duty. Now we are considering the general and IT controls. Hey guys, flow. We are in execution stage, performing stage. In performing stage, you have to understand and evaluate. How? By preparing narrative record, you'll understand. From understanding, you'll prepare where risk is high, risk is low, RCM. For doing that, you will perform walkthrough. Walkthrough, when you do, you will see segregation of duty. In segregation of duty, we are considered about the general and IT controls. Are we clear with it? All okay? So we are in execution stage. In execution stage, we just obtain an, come on, we just obtained an understanding. Now, once you have understood how it will, whether it is testing effectively, tested for what, whether the system is operating effectively, whether the system is operating effectively. Now for that, you have to assess the, whether system is okay, assess the nature, timing, and a third word, nature, timing, and extent of controls. While doing that, we are mainly with reliability of control, whether control is reliable. 100% you can't test, we will select only a sample testing. For testing the sample from large volume, you will select the data. You do data analytics. For doing data analytics, auditing, we use CAT. Now, did you see the flow? Your execution phase. In execution, you obtained an understanding of system. Once you have understood, you are testing whether it is effective. Ineffective, whether control is okay. Reliability, you select the sample. To select the sample, you perform data analytics. When you apply data analytics in auditing, you call it as CAT, computer assisted audit techniques. Are we clear with this stage? If so, can we proceed to last phase? Okay, completion phase. In completion phase, how automated environment affects our audit? How automated affects our audit? It mainly affects the reporting. Now, in reporting, you have to report whether system has any issues. You have to see whether there is any control deficiency. Now, whether it is small or large, you have to see its significant weakness. Now, for that, you will give once there is a deficiency, you communicate with management, TCWG. Ultimately, you put it in your audit report to users. Now, that's always a flow, management, TCWG, users. So this is how it affects the reporting stage. What is the difference between data analytics and CAT? We will learn towards the end of this topic. Ada, can you take 1 minute? In 1 minute, can you just study this? So where are we? First we said, is automated environment relevant? Yeah. Because it is relevant, second step, we obtained an understanding. Now, once we obtain an understanding, how this will affect each phase of audit, planning, execution and completion. So, so we were saying about what? Relevance. Relevance, we have already completed three things. One, we obtained an understanding. No, is it relevant? One. Second, we obtained an understanding. Now we saw how automated environment affects what? How automated environment will affect the phases of audit. Makla, if it affects the phases, you should amend your audit procedure. Audit procedure should be changed. Now, how it will impact at APS audit procedure? How automated environment will impact the audit procedures? Now, audit phases and audit cycle are almost same. Here, audit phases means audit cycle. Cycle means planning, execution, completion. It's almost same. Okay, so can we proceed? How automated environment it impacts the audit procedures. First one. And what are the main audit procedure? First procedure, we will perform test of control. Second, we perform test of details. Test of control to check the control. Test of details to check the transactions balances and how it will affect my reporting. Test of detail is nothing but substantive procedure. Where we learn TOD, TOC, where we learn test of details. In essay 500, 520 is analytical. In essay 500. Okay. Come back. Now, how automated environment will affect the audit procedure? You cannot rely on the automated control. Because you cannot rely on automated control, what you have to do? You have to perform more audit procedure. Now, can you rely on the data produced from systems? System risk is high. No, cannot rely on the data produced from systems. It should be tested for completeness. If you want to test for completeness and accuracy, more dash you have to obtain, more evidence. Now, how it will impact the reporting? In reporting, we have to report about the deficiencies in system. So, thus we conclude the second heading of the chapter, which is relevance in audit. So let me repeat for the last time. Is automated environment relevant? Yeah. If relevant, auditor should obtain an understanding. SA 315 link is there. Once you have obtained understanding, how it will impact phases of audit or cycle of audit? Planning, testing, execution, completion. Finally, how it will impact the audit procedures? TOC, we cannot blindly rely on automated control, more work. So more evidence you need. So test of detail, blindly you cannot rely on the data produced from the system. So more evidence you need. Reporting, you have to include deficiencies in system also. Are we clear? Okay, so can we proceed to the next heading? Okay, the next heading is risk associated. What are the different risks which is associated with respect to automated environment? What are the different risks associated with respect to automated environment? Risk. At a very simple heading. Come on, shoot. On your mark, get set. Come on, risk. Risk with respect to automated environment. Now, computer system is processing the data. So, what is the first risk? Inaccurate. What? Inaccurate. what? Processing of data. Processing will be, inaccurately they will process the data. Now, processing of inaccurate data, the process can be wrong, data can be wrong. Computer does not have knowledge, it will process inaccurate data. Now, hackers, etc., they will have a direct data access. Direct data access, or they can also change the data, changes or access. Now, at times there will be excess access, or you call it as, very good, you call it as privileged access. Excess access or privileged access. Now, in computer, lack of segregation of duties. We can't segregate the duties. Lack of segregation of duties. Now, next one. Unauthorized changes. Unauthorized changes. Without authorization, they can change the source code. Failure to update the system. Finally, gone. Loss of data. Processing can be wrong, data can be inaccurately processed, direct data access, excess access more than what they can, lack of segregation of duty, unauthorized changes, loss of data, or failure to update the system. What was the heading? I've lost the flow. What was the heading? These are the risks associated with respect to automated environment. Because of use of IT, these are the risks. Can you just study this? I think this heading is simple. Okay. So what is the next heading? Maklai, since risk is high, company should implement more dash. Since risk is high, company should implement more controls. Are we talking about the general controls? Are we talking about the general controls? No. Controls which is there in the automated environment. Okay. What are the different controls which you need in the automated environment? And I think you learn in your EIS also. Come on, shoot. There are how many types of control? Come on, quick. There are 3 types of control. What are those 3 types of control? First one is general controls. Okay, general control. General control. Second is what? IT controls. IT, which is application control. Application controls. Third, IT dependent controls. That is the third one. Right? Now, first control is general control. General. Hey, what is general controls? Let us support here. General controls means, is it direct or indirect control? It is indirect control. The total control in the system. You call it as pervasive controls. Pervasive, pervasive controls. Now, why this is implemented in automated environment? Why? Endinam. Because for security of data, not only security, integrity of data. It is mainly implemented for security and integrity of data. Now, if there is a general control, it will support functioning of which control? If you have a total control, each application will be safe. So, it supports functioning of which control? Very good. It supports application controls. Now, general control has to be implemented whether it is mini, or mainframe, or in case of end users. Example, I will come back in the end. Are we clear with the general control? If so, can you say 2? Can we go to the second one? Okay. This is general control, total control, pervasive control, general. Now, second is IT, meaning application control, which is direct or indirect. It is direct control, rather it is specific control, very specific control, which is embedded. Embedded means inbuilt inside the computer system. Now, these controls can be either manual or it can be automated. It can be manual or it can be automated. Now, why? This control is mainly for reducing the risk. Are we clear? Mainframe, mini frame means it's different types of systems which different business use. Any type of system, whether it is mainframe, whether it is mini frame, this type of control is required. Which control? General control. Application means it is very specific, like on the spot, like it specifically directly to an application. If so, can we go to the third one? Come on here. Last one. IT dependent control. IT dependent control. What is IT dependent control? Basically it is the manual control that use data from system. See, whatever said and done, automated environment is okay, but there should be a manual control. So these are the three types of heading flow on. These are the three types of controls which is needed when you operate in an automated environment. These two controls are closely interrelated. One will, general control will support application control. This is interrelated. Okay. So I will give you some examples. All the examples are mixed. From this, can you guys identify whether it is general controls or IT controls? Can you just identify? Access control, access to system, any system to access. It's pervasive, general. Mandatory field, like in Google form, etc. If to submit that form, it should be mandatorily filled. Application. Format check, format. If you don't enter in that format, it won't work. Application. At a limit check, exceeding a limit, it won't go. System will not accept. Application. Program change. At a program change means the source code of the program has to be changed. Source code. So general. Data center and network control. Data center, network control. The general data center. General control. Range check within this range. It's again specific. Application control. Sequence check in a particular sequence. Sequence check. Application control. Reasonableness check. Whether this value entered is reasonable. It's not general. No. It is specific. It is again application control. Right. Software application acquisition to purchase the software system itself, general. Now one more, last one. Rotation of data operator. Data operator rotated, meaning it is IT dependent control. You just have to think it very simple. Whether it is total, pervasive control, not specific, general. Is it very specifically to an entry or to an item? Application. Now, is it purely manual control? Yes, then IT. So, these are the examples of the last slide. General, application, IT dependent. Can we proceed if all okay? So, where are we? We finished risk associated. Now we finished controls. Can we proceed to the next one? Come on guys, life is a race. Run. You should not stop unless you have reached the destination. Our destination is pass. Come on. Testing and evaluation. Run. Testing. And by the way, who has to test? Who has to evaluate? Naturally, system is designed by the management company. We have to test. As an auditor, we have to test, right? So first one, you will, for every procedure, the first procedure is what? Enquiry. Enquiry is easy or difficult to perform. Enquiry, you are inquiring how the system is working. Very easy to perform. Once it is easy, it is more efficient or effective. Very easy to perform. Easy means it is more efficient. Efficient means ease of doing. Effective is objective. But it is less reliable. Since it is less reliable, it is least effective. If you're confused with effectiveness and efficiency, efficiency means ease of doing. This is very easy, so more efficient. Effective means achievement of objective. Since this is least reliable, our objective may not be actually achieved. So least effective. So we inquire how the system will process the data. So this is the first testing method, right? Inquiry alone provide you with sufficient evidence. Inquiry alone doesn't provide. Many places they are saying, okay, doesn't provide what? Sufficient evidence. Therefore, after inquiry, we have to continue with the next step. Always as a flow. Inquiry, now you will go and observation. Now, what you observe? Observe the system, process, and the procedures, right? We inquired, observed. Now, policy manual, system configuration, it is automated. All these you can. Manual, even with the mobile phone, you get the manuals. So, you can inspect. But don't lose the flow. We are in testing method. Evaluation. Who will test? Who will evaluate? Auditor. What? System. First we ask them. Second we observed. Third we inspected. Now we can perform. Now you can sit and the third one. Inspection. Fourth. Very good. Performance. Re-performance is more or most reliable. Since it is reliable, you will get more what evidence? Most effective evidence you will get. Effective, achieving the objective. But it is least efficient. It is very time consuming and it is very difficult to perform. So which two methods combination will give you most effective, efficient evidence? Out of these four, which two methods we can combine? Very good. Enquiry plus, it's not re-performance, it is inspection. See, we need documentary evidence. Inspection will give you documentary evidence. Re-performance always might not happen in an audit. So, that's it about the testing methods. So guys, these are the testing methods, evaluations by the auditor. Inquiry, inspection, observation, re-performance. Inquiry is most efficient, whereas re-performance is most effective. There are two other places in auditing where you learn effective and efficiency. Any guess? There are two other places. One is in SA 530. Do you remember in SA 530, sampling, we say if sample is wrong, audit efficiency and effectiveness is affected. At a sampling, SA, 5:30. Then also we will learn in essay 300, planning. If you plan the audit, it will be audit will be more efficient and effective. So, can we proceed if you are okay with the testing method and evaluations? With that, we will wind up last heading. Can we proceed? Last heading. Come on, guys, we'll proceed. But a little earlier, we have heard about data analytics and meow cat. Now, what is data analytics? Data analytics means it is a combination of tools, techniques, or process. Why data analytics is used? To tap what? Large volume of data. From that, to extract what data? To extract meaningful or useful data. See, this process of getting meaningful data from large volume of data, that process is called as data analytics. Now, data analytics, when auditor applies, like by using Excel we use, like to sort the data, to filter the data. There are software, complex software like IDEA, ACL, softwares are there. These softwares are used by auditor to do data analytics. Such software collectively is called as CAT. Now, what is the difference between data analytics and CAT? Data analytics means from large volume you take meaningful data. That is data analytics. When auditor applies this data analytics, it is called as CAT. Such techniques used by auditor is called as CAT, computer assisted audit techniques. Now guys, why we use CAT? Can you say few situations where we use CAT? Few cases, situation, like to analyze journal entry. Analyze journal entry, essay 240, fraud. To fix the materiality, to select the sample, materiality, essay 320, sample, essay 530. Then I'm not writing. To see the deficiencies, for recalculation, reperformance, for all these things, investigation, fraud, all, etc. Materiality benchmark, that's right. And now, did you understand? Someone asked me doubt between data analytics and CAT. Data analytics means from large volume you are selecting meaningful. When auditor applies this, in audit you call it as CAT, the tool used by auditor to apply data analytics. And now, how auditor uses CAT? There is an approach, like how auditor will use CAT. At a first step, okay, we are going to apply data analytics CAT. You have to obtain understanding of business. As always, starting is understanding. You understood. Now what you want? You fix your objective and criteria. You wanted, say for example, in tax audit, payment exceeding 10,000. So you understood the business, whether cash payment or bank payment. Now second, your criteria is 10,000 cash payment, like tax audit to disallow. Now from where you have to select source of data. To see the cash payment, you have to extract the data from cash ledger. Now you have to extract the data from cash ledger. When you extracted, nothing should be omitted. Entire should be accurate and complete. On the extracted data, you apply the filter. Now, from that, you obtain the result and then you report and disallow. I'm saying 10,000 example. Let me repeat. You understand about the entity. Okay, now what you want? Objective criteria. Source you identify. From that extract, when you extract, it should be complete, accurate. On that, you apply your criteria, filter in Excel. Now you get the result, report and document. Yes, with that, we have completed automated environment. And in the study material, they have given some terms towards the end of the chapter, like glossary, like what you know, in the like what is database, what is data, what is ERP, what is application. If you get the time, you can just go through, like if some MCQ objective is asked, you can, don't, no need to by heart all the terms, especially in the last minute. Don't study anything which you find very difficult. Our paper is, it's, I'm saying about descriptive part, you have option of 18 marks. So don't study anything new, but that does not mean to leave all the topics up. I'm just saying if you're lacking a confidence on a particular topic, don't stress yourself. Okay. And are we clear with this topic? With that, let's chirikida, put a smile on your face. And even when you go through difficult phase, even when you, what to say, at least you have to, I'm not saying to act, but still try to smile. As I said, seriously speaking, I was not well today, but still. Okay. Enough, enough. And do you get at least little, now come back to business, guys. Do you get at least little bit of confidence with respect to this chapter? At least little bit of confidence? As I said, this is one of the chapter where students tend to leave it. So that's why I selected. So weightage is somewhere around 4 to 6 marks. Yeah, somewhere around 3 to 8 or 4 to 6. Anyway, one question is generally asked. Descriptive question, 3 marks is the minimum. So somewhere around 3 to 8. See, it's a very small chapter when compared to other chapters. Bank audit, company audit, items in FS, very small. Once you study, you can score the mark, but I do agree. It's not like other chapters. Set on, all set. So baby, calm down, calm down, calm down. Now you take rest for 2 minutes. Then we'll start with our next one, which is essay 300 series. 300, 315, 320. Again, I will give you a recap of other essays and then I'll start with 300. Take rest. Ada, can we start with 300 series? Okay. So our next target is essay 300 series. But before going to essay, can we have a rapid recap of essay? Essay 200, and it's just a recap just here. If you want to type, you can type. 200 series. 200 series, it's general responsibilities and principles. First is essay 200. 200 is the overall objective of the auditor. 210 is the agreeing on the terms of engagement, where you establish the preconditions for common understanding. 220 is the quality control at the or of the audit engagement level. SQC is at firm level. Now 240 is fraud. Auditor's responsibility relating to fraud. Fraud, link it with 143.12 to 15 of company audit and also CARO, clause number 11. Then 250, compliance considerations of laws and regulation. As an auditor, we should report the non-compliance which affects the financials. Now 299, which is joint audit. When more than one auditor, joint audit is there in company audit chapter, which is 139 subsection 3 and also 139 subsection 2. And in this, all these things said and done, 230, you should document anything you do in your audit, which is essay 230, audit documentation, record of procedures, evidence and conclusion. So 200 series, 200, 210, 220, 230, 240, 250 and 299. In this, 260 is not there in your syllabus, but you should understand 260 is communicating with Uparwala, communicating with TCWG. 265 is just reference. Okay. Now, this is essay 200 series. Now, after 200 series, we have 5 minutes. Okay, after 200 series, 300 series, 300 is planning and risk assessment, 300 is planning of audit, where planning strategy program. Then you have 315, identifying and assessing risk of material misstatement. Then you have 320, materiality in planning and performing the audit. Then 330, no need of detail, just responding to the assessed risk. 400 series we don't have to study as such, but 450 is just link. 450 is evaluation of misstatement. So 300, 400 series 300, 315, 320 mainly. 330 and 450 just understand what it is. So 200 series is general responsibility, 300 is planning risk assessment. Now 500 series, 450 is evaluation of misstatements. In 315 we say the link. Now 500 series is audit evidence, very important series. 500 you collect the general evidence. 501 is specific evidence for 3 selected items: inventory, litigation and claims, segment reporting. 505 is external confirmation, positive, negative. 510 is initial audit engagement, opening balance, if you are not the predecessor auditor or if prior period is unaudited. 520 is analytical procedure. Analytical procedure means evaluation of financial information by analyzing plausible relationship between financial and non-financial to identify, investigate fluctuation or deviation from expected value by a significant amount. Now 530, audit sampling. Whenever audit procedure is applied to less than 100% of total item, you call it as audit sampling. After that, 540 is just for reference, accounting estimates. Accounting estimate should be reasonable. 550 is related party. Related party involve high risk. Then 560 is subsequent event. Any events which occurs after the date of FS and between the date of signing of report. It also includes the matter that becomes known to the facts that become known to the auditor after the date of audit report. Now, 570, going concern, whether there is any material uncertainty that may cast a significant doubt on the auditor. Now, going concern is there in audit report, fifth element in audit report. Now 580, written representation. To support all these things, you obtain the written representation, which is 580. 500 series, 500, 501, 505, 510, 520, 530, 540 reference, 550, 560, 570, 580. Now we collected the evidence in 500, but we can't collect the evidence ourselves. So in 600 series, we may use the work of others. 600, using the work of another auditor where I am the principal auditor. Makla, it is there in company audit, branch audit, 143 subsection 8 link is there. Then 610, using the work of internal auditor where I am the external auditor. Internal auditor, external auditor link is there in CARO. CARO, clause number, internal auditor, clause number 14. Okay, clause number 14 is internal audit. Moreover, internal audit section 138. Okay, 620 only reference using the work of auditor's expert. So in 600 series, we are using the work of others, 600, 610, 620, but we will be held solely responsible. Or we can't say. Now, after using the work of others, 700 series, you give the report. 700, you form the opinion with unqualified opinion. 701, most significant matter to the auditor. Now 705, modified opinion. Uh, Qualified adverse disclaimer. 706, EOMP, OMP, emphasis of matter para, other matter para. See, 701 is scam, important to the auditor. 706 is something significant to the users. Then 710 is comparative, corresponding information, comparative FS. So 700 series, 700, 701, 705, 706, 710. Now, this is essay which is applicable for audit. SRE, chapter number 1, SRE for review. SAE for assurance other than historical. SRS, related services, where you don't give any assurance. Essay, audit, SRE review, SAE assurance, SRS related. For any work at the firm level, quality should be maintained, which is SQC. Did you get a recap of all the essays? I've touched every essay which is there in your syllabus mainly. Reacted, put a response, no? Oh, thank you. Okay. Can we start with our target, which is 300 series, 3 essay, 300, 320, chapter number 2. These two are in chapter number 2, 300, 320. After that, 315, which is chapter number 4, risk assessment. But a promotion, come on, give me a promotion, no? All okay? All set? Okay. Chapter 2. Okay, this is audit strategy, audit planning, and audit program. Now, first, what to do? What to do? You should not write that for the exam. It is called as audit strategy. From strategy, what to do? You develop how to do. Makle, how to do is called as planning. When you implement the plan, it's called as the audit program. Now wait, before you proceed to essay as such, if possible, put this in your mind. Strategy is what to do. Why do you establish strategy? For establishing the scope, direction, timing of audit. In strategy, we establish nature, timing, and extent of in the resources. Nature means what specific resources, timing means when, extent means amount, how much resources. Now that is strategy. Next, planning. Why planning is done? To conduct the audit in an effective, efficient, and I missed out a word, and timely manner. Now here you establish what to do, no? Nature, timing, and extent of audit procedures. Audit procedure, what are the main procedure? Wrap up, risk assessment procedure, FAP up, further audit procedure, and other planned procedure, like additional, etc. At first you put these words in your mind. Why planning and why strategy? And planning strategy which is more detailed. More detailed is, plan. It is more detailed. With this idea in mind, can I first start with strategy, then we will go to plan and then program. All set? Okay. So I'm starting with strategy. Strategy means think in your mind what to do. And guys, kindly learn this keyword before we start. Okay, strategy. Okay. Guys, you have the words. Come on, reproduce. Strategy establishes the overall scope, direction, timing of audit. which helps in development of detailed detailed audit plan. Now, what is the advantages? What are the advantages of strategy? We said no, nature, timing, extent. If you are putting the strategy, we know what are the specific resources, when to deploy, when, timing, when to deploy these resources, how many resources you want, amount of resources, and you can organize and manage the resources. Manage. Now, who are resources? So, if you establish a strategy, you can take specific resources, amount you can fix, timing you can fix, organize them. Now, while you establish a strategy, certain things you have to consider. Factors, matters to be considered by auditor. Come on. First one, characteristics of engagement. What are the characteristics? To whom we should give the reporting? Like government company, your report should be given to. At a government company, report should be given to. We study in company audit. C&DG. Now, for audit of cooperative society, we study an audit of different entities. Our report should be given to different entity. ROCS, Register of Cooperative Societies. Now, for different audit, different. Branch auditor will give the report to principal auditor. Now, what are the team's effort? Auditors, professional. APJ means auditors, professional judgment on team's effort. Now, nature, timing, and extent of, that you already know. Nature, timing, and extent of resources. Finally, results of preliminary engagement activity. Like before you accept the audit, Makla, you see three things. Can you say? Before you accept the audit, first one, you should check whether you have complied with the ethical requirements. Then you have to check whether to accept and continue the engagement. Then you establish the terms of engagement. For this, you will see which all are the areas involving high risk, what is the volume of transaction, etc. Are we clear? So we are in flow gone. Strategy. Why strategy? To establish this. From strategy, you develop the plan. These are the matters to be considered. Now, if you establish a strategy, these things will be sorted out. If it is an initial audit engagement, initial, say, 510. You have to, come on, you have to communicate with the previous auditor, predecessor, and you should determine whether to accept and continue the engagement. Now, can you study this now? First, put the keywords in mind, these keywords. Now you study what is strategy, scope, direction, timing, which helps in developing the detailed audit plan. Once you do specific, when, amount, you can organize. Now these are the factors to be borne in mind while establishing. If it is an initial audit engagement, extra, you communicate, and whether to accept or continue, you will see. How many ethical requirements are there? I'm just asking out of this. 5. Integrity, objectivity, confidentiality, professional behavior, professional competence. Acceptance and continuation is part of quality control. Quality control has how many elements? Quality control has 6 elements. 6. Agreeing on terms of engagement, which is SA 210. But are we clear with first part, what is audit strategy? If so, next is plan. Our strategy is over. From strategy, next one is plan. And a plan is how to do. Independence is not ethical requirement. Integrity, objectivity, confidentiality, professional behavior, professional competence. Independence is not ethical requirement. Okay. Sure. Yeah. So next stages, planning. Why planning is done? To perform audit in an efficient, effective, timely manner. Efficient, effective, timely manner. Now, while you fix the plan, what? Factors to be considered. First, you have to see accounting system. Okay, now factors. What are the factors to be borne in mind while you establish the planning? First, accounting system. Second, reliability of internal control. Then, nature, timing, and extent of audit procedure. Nature, timing, and extent of audit procedure. Finally, you coordinate the work. But we already said, while planning, you see nature, timing, extent of audit procedure. Makle, which all audit procedure? Nature, timing, extent of RAP, nature, timing, and extent of FAP, and other planned procedures. Okay. Okay, so first we said what is audit planning, second we said about the factors, and now what are the contents in planning. Can we proceed? Now, why do we plan the audit? Like, why do we plan the audit? To select the, at a flow, to select the team. Once the team is selected, you will organize and manage the team. Once it is organized and managed, you will direct and, direct and supervise the team. You will coordinate the team, coordination. If you do like this, if you properly select, organize, direct, and coordinate, you can finish the work in a timely manner by giving attention to all the important areas. Timely, you can resolve the problem. That's a flow. Select, organize, direct, coordinate. So that timely manner by giving attention to important areas. There is a very famous sentence, planning is not a dash phase. Planning is not a discrete phase. Rather it is a continuous and iterative process, which begins immediately on completion of previous year audit, continues till completion of current year audit. Discrete alla, it's not discrete, continuous, iterative. Previous year, current year. And now we finished strategy. Now we finished plan. At our first strategy, this is plan. Now planning and strategies are closely, interrelated. Why? Change in one would result in change in another. Are we clear with this? Okay. Strategy, now planning. Okay, now take a glance in this. Once you're okay, one more thing is there. I'll just brief it up. I'm not going into detail. Program. Okay, with that, we'll wrap up this essay. Planning, strategy, now program. Now proceed. Okay, now program. An audit program. Now, what is audit program? An audit program means it is a series of, audit procedures. It's a series of audit procedures. Okay, to obtain audit evidence. One audit program is not suitable for all entity. Audit program should be subject to periodic review. Article assistant should be encouraged to be open-minded. Program is implementation of plan. You study an audit of different entity, hotel, hospital, adaka program. Now, said and done. Finally, planning, strategy, program. Order a strategy, plan, program. Finally, auditor should document. Document essay 230. Here they are saying to specifically document. Essay 230 is general. What all to document? Strategy you have to document. Plan you have to document. Any revision you have done, that also you have to document, revision or changes. Now here, engagement team, articles, engagement team should be properly direction and supervision. Direction and supervision of engagement team depends on four things. What all thing? Competence, and I'm not writing, I'll just say. Competence and capability. Competence and capability. Risk. Area. Complexity, significance, etc. So that's it about essay 300. Are you comfortable, or at least you got an overall idea of essay 300, the keywords? Before we go to next, I want to do something. Come on, ask me what? No? Can I? What? There are a lot of words which comes like twinning, like it should be used together when you write for the exam. Can I say that words? These words are like entire essays, not just essay 300. We'll start with, no, okay, I'll start with, wait, I'll start differently. First word is identify and assess. Then reliability and relevant, sufficient and appropriate, preparation and presentation and disclosure, design and implement if it is internal control, but if it is audit procedure, it is design and perform. Okay. Nature, timing and, we just said, extend. Then nature and size of the entity. If it is factors, nature and size. Now if it is procedure, nature and extent. Okay. Now detect, prevent and correct. Planning and performing. Okay. Direction and, we just said, direction and supervision. Organize and manage. Transactions and related party. Transactions and relationship. Transactions and balance will come. Transaction and relationship will come. For related party, transaction and relationship. Transaction and relationship. Jointly and severally. Joint auditors essay 299. Pinna scope, direction and, now we said scope, direction and timing. Efficient, effective and timely manner. Individually or in, materiality we will hear. Individually or in, very good. Individually or in aggregate. Laws and, that's very simple. Law and regulation. Roles and auditors, roles and management, roles and responsibilities. Policies and, come on, policies and procedure. Systems and Procedures, systems and procedure. Better to use systems and procedure. Due care and array yaar, come on, very easy. Due care and diligence. Existence and inventory. Existence and condition of inventory. Account balance, class of transaction and ABCD. Account balance, class of transaction, disclosure. Layout and presentation. Can I continue for 2 more minutes? This thing? Okay. Pinne. Accounting estimate. You always write what? Whether accounting estimate is reasonable. Going concern, what you write? Going concern. Whether it is appropriate. Accounting policy. What you write? Accounting policy should be consistently applied. Okay. Competence and, now we said competence and capabilities. Okay. And now I'm just pausing because too much words at one go, you will fall off. Now take rest. Was that useful? At least you got recap of those words. Okay. So we just completed. Makla, which essay? Chapter 2, essay 300. Chapter 2 has one more essay, which is essay 320. 320 is nothing but materiality. So once you are ready, put ready R, let's bash. Okay, can we start with essay 320? What is 320? Come on guys, what is 320? 320 is materiality. Materiality in 2 stage, planning and performing of audit. 3 stage of audit are planning, performing, completion. But materiality is determined in planning, revised in performing. Okay. I hope you heard it. Okay, first one. An item is said to be. Try to fill up the blank if you can. An item is said to be material if its misstatement or omission reasonably expected to affect reasonably expected to affect users what? Decision making of users of FS. If this item is misstated or omitted, users' decision will go wrong. Materiality can be either in dash or dash, either individually, or materiality can be in aggregate. But I aggregate materiality in auditing, we have a word. You call it as performance materiality. Aggregate materiality, technically you call it as performance materiality. Now, judgment of materiality is affected by what? It is affected by nature, size, or both. Now, materiality is determined based on user, but a common user or specific user. Materiality is determined based on common user, general user, and not specific or individual user. Right? Now, materiality is a matter of, and I may fix different, you may fix different. It's a matter of auditor's professional judgment. Materiality is based on user's requirement, it differs. Now, materiality is there in AFRF. And AFRF means materiality is there in schedule. Materiality is there in schedule 3. Can you give me example of schedule 3 materiality? If a revenue, or if, I'm not writing, I'm saying, if a revenue or an expense which exceed 1% of total, or 1 lakh, then it should be separately disclosed because it is material. Not only that, shareholder holding more than 5% of capital, a shareholder holding more than 5% of total capital should be separately disclosed. This is materiality in Schedule 3. Baby, calm down. Can you just see if it is okay? If okay, after 30 seconds, give me proceed. Let's continue. Materiality means if it affects users. Which user? Common user. Individually or in aggregate. Aggregate, generally you call it as performance materiality. It depends upon the nature, size and both. It's determined based on common user and not specific. It based on auditor's judgment. From user's point, one user to another, it differs. It's basically a requirement of AFRF. Why do we determine materiality? Why do we determine materiality? Determination of materiality. Without determining materiality, we cannot identify and assess ROMA. Meaning, M is material. Now, nature, timing and extent of RAP you can't do. Nature, timing and extent of FAP you can't do. So materiality is the base for identifying risk, performing RAP and FAP, risk assessment procedure, further procedure. Is materiality a fixed concept? Once it is fixed, you can't change. Is it like that? No. Materiality is subject to change. Change, you call it as revision. You may revise. When you will revise? Revise based on circumstances, based on events or new events or condition, better understanding of entity or new information you got. There is a sentence which is there. Can I say? If you are okay, just put a thumbs up, okay? See, when materiality will be revised? Okay. In the event of becoming aware of a fact, that would have caused the auditor to fix different materiality initially, then auditor shall revise the materiality. He knew a fact now. Had he known this fact earlier, he would have fixed different materiality. Now what to do? Revise. In the event of becoming aware of a fact that would have caused the auditor to revise the materiality, to put different materiality initially, he shall revise. All okay? So guys, materiality is applied in 2 stages. At which all stage of audit? It is applied in planning and it is also applied in performing. Planning phase you determine, performing phase you revise. Okay. What is the relationship between materiality and risk? Materiality is essay 320. Audit risk is which essay? Achucho. Very good. 315. What is the relationship? Inverse. More item material, more audit procedure. More procedure, risk is less. Last part of the essay. Can we proceed? Just 3 minutes. What are the factors to be borne in mind while fixing materiality benchmark? So first one. Okay. Better to say it as materiality is revised. It depends upon, come on, factors. It depends upon, general factors they are nature of the entity, size of the entity, life cycle of the entity, economic environment. Now, second, it depends upon the items in FS, assets, liability, revenue, expense. Then it depends upon user's requirement. Then it depends upon how the entity is finance and the ownership structure. And it depends upon the volatility benchmark. After you see all these factors, you fix the materiality. Finally, you should document. Document what I'm saying, to document the materiality, performance materiality, materiality with respect to account balance, class of transaction, disclosure. ഇവിടെ പറയുന്നത്, the document which I'm asking here, is it specific or is it general? The document which I'm saying it over here, now I'm saying no document. This is very specifically materiality. General documentation is essay 230. So guys, I'm repeating, determination of materiality. Without determining materiality, you cannot identify ROMA. You can't do risk assessment for the procedure. Materiality is subject to revision. Basically, planning and performing, materiality is applied. There is an inverse relationship between materiality and risk. These are the factors to be considered by auditor while fixing the materiality benchmark. Finally, you will document all these things. The 2 essays are over. Just one more essay in 300 series. That's it. 300 planning, 320 materiality. And by the way, in this session, are you understanding that, or do you recognize that in 1.5 hours or so we have finished? Wow, Para, tell me, wow. We finished 2 chapters. Now 2 chapters. Chapter 6, automated environment over. And now, which chapter? Chapter 2. I started like this, no? Over. Set down. Are you guys clear with it till here? So take rest. Next we'll start with, and one more essay is there, no? 315. 330 alla gutta. It is 315. And before I go to the essay, I want to do something. Can I do something, please? Yeah. Now it's your time. Ball is in your court. You have to shoot. I will ask, you put the goal correctly. Audit risk has how many components? Audit risk, it's overall auditing. I'm not asking you one essay. Audit risk has 3 components: IR, CR, DR. ROMM, risk of material misstatement, has how many components? 2. IR, CR, inherent risk, control risk. DR is detection risk. Now, internal control has how many components? 5. Control environment, risk assessment procedure, information system, monitoring, entity control, activity. Audit report has how many elements? Audit report has how many elements? 13. You want to say title, addressee, opinion, basis for opinion, manage material uncertainty, ongoing concern, key audit matter, management responsibility, auditor's responsibility, location, other legal regulatory requirement, signature, place, date. Now, engagement letter has how many elements? I'm asking you engagement letter. 5. Objective scope of audit, management responsibility, auditor's responsibility, AFRF in preparing the FS, form of audit report. Then quality control has how many elements? Quality control, I'm asking you. Quality control, 6 elements: whether to accept and continue the engagement, assignment of team, ethical requirements, leadership, monitoring, engagement teams, performance. Okay. Then, how many threats, how many threats, threat affecting independence? 5. Self-review, self-interest, intimidation, advocacy. You one I left off. Self-interest, self-review, intimidation, advocacy, and familiarity threat. How many ethical requirement? How many ethical requirement? Ethical requirement. 5. Integrity, objectivity, confidentiality, professional, competent, professional behavior. How many types of opinion? Come on. 4 types of opinion, broadly divided into modified, unmodified, qualified, adverse, disclaimer. So totally 4. Now, how many approaches to sampling? How many approaches to sampling? Approaches, I'm asking you. Approaches. 2. Statistical, non-statistical. Now, how many methods of sampling? Methods I'm asking. Methods, 5. Random, simple random, stratified random. Systematic sampling, haphazard, monetary, one I left off, block. How many types of analytical procedure? How many types of analytical procedure? 4. Ratio analysis, trend analysis, reasonableness. Always I'm forgetting the last one here. Ratio, trend, reasonableness. One more. Structural modeling. Okay. Now, how many types of subsequent events? Subsequent events. You. Adjusting, non-adjusting, same as your AS4. How many indicators for going concern? Indicators for going concern. 3. Financial indicator, operation indicator. As usual, I forgot the last one. Financial, operational, one more, come on, flow. Other indicators. Then how many types of comparative information? Comparative information, how many type? 2. Corresponding figures, comparative FS. How many types of external confirmation? Positive, negative, 2 types. How many types of assertion in total, Blare? I'm asking you how many types of assertion in total? I'm asking you total. Total is 4. Why 4? Explicit positive, explicit negative, implicit positive, implicit negative. How many types of audit documentation broadly? Documentation 3. Audit file, audit completion memoranda, audit notebook. How many types of framework for expressing opinion? How many types of framework? 2. Fair presentation framework, compliance presentation framework. How many types of financial? General purpose, specific purpose. Madhiyalle. I finished. How was it? Did you get a recap? All are from essay. Ella essay. But what am I supposed to do? Last question now. How many types of financials? General purpose and specific purpose. We study an audit report. Should I wait or can I go? What to do? Pogam. Where to go? Come on, where to go? Where? Passengers, for your kind attention, please. Yeah. Which is essay 315. So that is the last target. Run, baby, run. Life is a race, run. Can we run? Okay. This is which chapter, you know? This is chapter number 4. Chapter number 4, I'm just taking essay 315, risk assessment. Come on, shoot. Essay 315, name. Identifying and assessing ROMM. Through understanding the entity and its environment. Now, as per this essay, auditor has to obtain understanding of 3 things: entity, environment, and mainly he should obtain an understanding about internal control system. Risk has to be assessed in 2 levels: overall FS or assertion level of ABCD. Auditor has to assess both and or. Risk should be assessed both and or ano. Is it both you have to see and or? The answer is both has to be seen. See, risk can come either in overall or in ABCD or both. Risk can come in either. But auditor should assess the risk both. He has to see both the risk. So, and. Is that clear? If clear, can you put C? Clear? Okay. Now, wrapper. Auditor should perform. To identify and assess risk, auditor should perform risk assessment procedure. Makle, how to perform risk assessment procedure? First, you will do inquiry. As usual here. Second, you go and observation. Third, you inspect. Finally, you perform analytical procedure. Beda, these four are how you perform RAP. Analytical procedure, essay, 520. And a ROMM means something which is there in financial during the audit or after audit or prior to audit. Risk of material misstatement, chances of misstatement, sadhyada, chances. Meaning ROMM means it is something which is there prior to audit. You will reevaluate, etc. That is there. But ROMM is something which is there in financial already. The auditor should obtain an understanding of entire thing like ownership structure, management, TCWG, human resources, objective, strategies, policies, law, finance, AFRF, etc. And you know why? Risk can be qualitative or quantitative or both. Because risk can come in either way. No, risk can be either quantitative or it can be qualitative. Okay, risk assessment one time or continuous? Is it one time or continuous? Risk assessment is a continuous process, continuous and dynamic process. Come on, guys. Fraud, related party, all these are dash risk. What risk? Very important. Auditor should listen and see very carefully. Carefully, he should analyze significant risk. Risk assessment is a matter of I may assess risk differently, you may assess risk differently. It's a matter of APG. Said and done, ultimately, you should document specifically the risk. Discussion with the team, risk with respect to internal control, etc. And are you clear with the first part? Let me repeat. If understood, you can take rest. Others, recap time. Essay 315 is to identify and assess risk. How? By understanding the entity and its environment. Risk can come in either overall FS or ABCD. I mean, account balance, class of transaction, disclosure, balance sheet, P&L notes. Both you have to assess, and for assessing, you will perform risk assessment procedure by conducting inquiry, observation, inspection, analytical. Risk means something which happens prior to audit. To do this, you will obtain an understanding of ownership, everything. Risk can be quantitative or qualitative. Risk assessment is a continuous and dynamic process. Certain risks are significant risk. I may assess risk in a different way, you may, APJ, auditor's professional judgment, and we should document specifically. But if this much is clear, can you give me a green signal? I'm just repeating because someone asked, you should obtain understanding of Edakutta flow, ownership, who a company's owner, management, TCWG, human resources, objective, strategy, policy, law, finance, AFRF. Risk can be quantitative or qualitative, no? Okay. And what is audit risk? Makkale, shoot, what is audit risk? Risk of expressing an inappropriate opinion when FSR materially misstated. Now you saw two conditions. Inappropriate opinion will come when FSR misstated. Inappropriated, misstated. Now is it and or? For an audit risk to happen, both or both the condition and inappropriate opinion and FSR misstated. Now, audit risk comprises of, already we have discussed, three elements: inherent risk, control risk, detection risk. Now, how inherent risk happens? Because it is, vulnerable. You use that word, susceptibility. This risk comes before control or after control? This comes before internal control. Now, why control risk comes? Because internal control fails to detect, prevent, and one word, detect, prevent, and correct misstatements. How detection risk comes? Because audit procedure fails to detect misstatements. So there is a formula below. Audit risk is equal to IR into CR into DR, inherent risk into control risk into detection risk. Now, IR and CR commonly you call it as risk of material misstatement. Are we clear till here? And I will finish off in 5 minutes, then 5 minutes talk. That's it. We will end it. Come on. Auditor should obtain an understanding of internal control. Internal control has how many components? We have discussed this. 5. First component, CRIMI, 5. First component is control environment. Organization structure, TCWG, management, human resources. They should be competent, capable. For them, roles and responsibility, ethical requirement. Environment, control environment. Second, risk assessment procedure. Identify, assess, significant, frequency, respond. Identify the risk, significant aano illio, significance, frequency, respond. Third, third one, information system or IT. Whether this systems is capturing the transaction, recording the transaction, classifying, presenting, whether it is complete. Journal entry should be controlled. Fourth one, monitoring. To monitor only we have II, internal audit and internal check. Finally, entities, control activities like segregation of duty, authorization, performance review, authorization, physical control, etc. Okay, someone asked me to repeat control environment. Control environment means structure should be there, organization structure. Top, TCWG will be there, management will be there, below them human resources will be there. They should be competent and capable. For them, roles and responsibility, ethical requirement. See, internal control is designed by management. We should obtain an understanding. Maklai, last proceed, can you give? Last one, please. If this much is okay, last proceed. And this is going to be a rapid. TCWG depends upon the entity, it varies, depends upon the entity. Management TCWG will be there. Selection of wrong sample, which risk is it? Is it inherent risk? Is it control risk? Is it detection risk? Or none of the above? Come on, shoot. Selection of wrong sample, 530, sampling risk. No, sample is wrong. Sample is wrong means audit procedure is wrong. If audit procedure is wrong, it is detection risk. Come on guys, it is detection risk. Cashier colluded with the manager to suppress the cash sales. Internal control is weak. So which risk? It is control risk. Auditor perform more inquiry and observation rather than analytical or external confirmation. I should have performed more of analytical and external, but I perform inquiry and observation. Which risk? Our procedure, detection risk. In case of mobile industry, technology becomes outdated. As a result, closing stock is overstated. Technology you can't control. Because closing stock, it is inherent risk. The child labor, balavela, you call, 14 years below employees are there. But because of this, is there any material misstatement in FS? Tell me yes, no. No. If there is no material misstatement, will it be an audit risk? No. Even adverse publicity is not an audit risk. For an audit risk to happen, there should be a misstatement in FS. Is competition an audit risk? No, it is business risk. Financials are misstated, but auditor expresses appropriate opinion. Is it an audit risk? No, because for an audit risk, both conditions should come. FS should be misstated and inappropriate opinion. FS are not misstated, but I expressed an inappropriate opinion. This is also not audit risk. So guys, sharp 9:30, I have finished with the target of the session. This is essay. I'll come back to your doubts. I'll come back to your queries. I'll come back. Don't worry. Let me just conclude this. With that, risk assessment is over. Eda, are you okay with this 2-hour session? I'm really sorry for my cough and all those things. It was not well, but I think my voice was clear, no? The explanation? Yeah. So before I come back to your issues, can I just talk for 2 minutes? You can take it as an advice, you can take it as anything you want. Can I just talk? Right now you are studying for the exam, you have one more day with you, or you have some more time. In this time, you try to utilize maximum possible, you try to study. Okay, maximum in the sense, after taking rest, you should have proper sleep of 6 hours, and then you should eat your food. After that, you try to revise maximum. Now, don't try to study anything new by yourself at this point. If you have some revision lectures, okay. If you want to attend some rapid revision, it's fine. But don't try to study yourself something new, meaning you have not touched till date, you are studying for fresh time. Because one, your morale will go down, second, your time will go. Now, said and done, when you go for the examination, 15 minutes before the examination, don't talk to others. And now don't ask 15 minutes before the exam, is Caro applicable to that company? What is small company requirement? Don't do, because you will make tense yourself and others will be also tensed. After your exam, if you want, okay, you tell to your parents or friends or faculty how the exam was. Leave it, because I've seen in my teaching journey of 13 years, what students will do is, one paper is very difficult, they will come and discuss for 1 hour in the group and 1 hour with the friends or faculty or whatever it is, and what happens is that paper is over, we can't take it back, but that will impact other papers. And ultimately, when the result comes, what will happen? The paper which they found tough, they will score, and because of them, because of that impact, other papers will be affected. So guys, go to the exam hall, give your best, think well, and select the question you know very well and write first. First impression is the best impression. So 15 minutes reading time you have, right? In the 15 minutes reading time, select the question which you are going to leave in the option. Then you start with the question you know very well. Now, if you are having some difficulties in writing, what you have to do, you will try to score more in MCQ and objective. MCQ is 30 marks. Try to score maximum in that. But one advice is that take only 30 minutes. Then objective question, correct, incorrect, 14 marks. Generally it comes. So 44 marks you can score well. Now when it comes to the presentation, company audit question if it comes, 3 marks, 4 marks descriptive. Put a heading, fact, provision, conclusion, or provision, fact, conclusion. Now, audit of different entity, cinema, hotel, hospital, you put it as bulletin, point number 1, 2, 3. Audit of items in FS, like how do you vouch the traveling expense, how do you vouch provision for income tax, again points. Essay question, identify whether it is essay, okay. Using the work of, okay, CA Parvati has been appointed as the auditor. She uses the work of a valuer. Which essay, guys? Come on, tell me which essay. She uses the work of a valuer. Management valuer. Which essay? Management's valuer. It is management expert essay. It's not 600. It is essay 500. So first step you have identified essay. It is essay. Which essay? Management expert is not 620. It is 500. Okay, 500. Now 500, which one you have to explain? Management expert part. Now collect the keywords. There are a lot of keyword. Auditor will be held solely responsible. Before using, he should say competence, capability, objectivity, keywords. Now keywords you will elaborate. If a distinguished question is asked, very remote, rarely only they ask. If it is asked, put column and describe. Basis, 2 column. Now, when you do the descriptive part, if possible, highlight the keywords. I'm not saying to underline everything. Keywords, key section, conclusion. And for each descriptive question, start with a heading. Makle, all these things are just the advice which I've got. If you leave me, I'll talk for next half an hour, but I'm controlling myself. And let me say one thing. Believe in yourself, not overconfidence. Believe in yourself and we will pass. You say it yourself, you trust yourself, and don't see auditing as a monster subject or, like it's very difficult. Take it, now it's a part when you are going to give your last leg of the race. See, you are reaching the finishing point. We have come through this much time. You have run so much. It's just that line which you have to step in. Confidently, very confidently, we will do it. With that confidence, you jump to the finishing line and you will, by God's grace, you will finish the finishing off well. Okay. So, and don't think about what if we don't pass, what if it is like this, what if, see, we can't predict ourselves. Who will be there the next day, what will happen the next moment, we don't know. See, even after COVID, we are all surviving and we are here. Who thought everything will happen? Who thought an online like this we will meet? We never know. So don't focus, don't don't do anything now. Now go and write the exam. If some negative thought comes, what? Just put off, take 1 minute rest, go and come, or talk to some friends, or talk to your mother, or talk to someone, and then come back like a boomerang. Negative will come, you will be like in a pressure cooker. Everything I know, I do agree. So ultimately, and lastly, I'm saying, if you don't get anyone to talk, in the end, if you don't get anything, you can WhatsApp me. You know my number, 9846344446, or you can message me. Okay, so that's it, guys. Irrespective of auditing mark, I'm saying for auditing, if you get 60, 70, 80, I'm very happy. Whereas, irrespective of auditing marks, what I want, I think I've already told you once, what I want is when the mark sheet comes in January, pass. Pass. Nothing less than pass. For that, we will strive forward. Now, last paper was tough. Next paper, how it will be? No. We or you or I can't change anything. You can't change anything. They have set the paper. We will do our best. Rest, leave it to God. Let Him decide. Set? All okay? So, if there is anything, you can put me a message. Yeah. So that's it. So, guys, what? We will see when. Come on, guys. When we will see? Arey yaar, when? We will see you soon in the final. I don't want to see you after 1 year, 2 year. No, 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 no. We have to see immediately. And I'll say, I'll just say one thing. Today I was not well and I was like thinking whether to take it tomorrow or not. Then I thought, no, our exam is there. We have to come like that. Whatever happens, whatever happens, whatever happens, for you now it is exempt. Don't compromise on that. Be selfish on yourself. Oh ma'am, you are saying to be selfish? No, only for the exam point of view. Now it's your exam, that's the first priority. After that, anything. So may God bless you. And anything you can put me message, I will be available. So thank you.